Lowe's Halloween 2024 exclusive manager meeting has been leaked. Let's take a look. For everything scary, I'm GMHaunts, and welcome to yet another Lowe's Halloween 2024 leak video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the last week has been filled to the brim with Lowe's Halloween 2024 leaked images. Of course, we started all the way back with our animatronic leaked stock photos, and now today, January 8th, 2024, it looks like we have reached the grand finale for the Lowe's Halloween 2024 leaks, because brand new images from the exclusive manager meeting taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada, have leaked out into the haunter community, and we have tons of brand new images to take a look at. But before I jump into anything, I do have to once again give full credit for everything you're about to see to the Halloween Decorating Fanatics 2024 Facebook group. Once again, they are the original poster for all of the images that we are about to take a look at, and all of the information. They have been instrumental in me making my entire Lowe's Halloween 2024 leak video series, so all credit goes to them. But without any further ado, let's jump right into the leaked manager meeting photos for Lowe's Halloween 2024. Alright, so I'm going to start this off by taking a look at an awesome overall image from the Lowe's manager meeting in Las Vegas, Nevada that has officially taken place. And in this photo, we can see the entire outside of the display that Lowe's created for this manager meeting. As you can see, this year for 2024, Lowe's built a full-on castle to show off their new for 2024 animatronics to all of their managers. And of course, one of the biggest questions from these leaked photos, and especially this photo right here, is will this display be in Lowe's locations for the 2024 season? Now, I have to go on record and say that I personally do not believe that we will see this castle in all Lowe's locations, and the main reason for that is simply because of the sheer size of it. I mean, just take a look at this. This display that was built by Lowe's for the manager meeting is absolutely gigantic. It stands at least 12 feet tall, because we can see it compared to the 12-foot mummy, which I'll talk about in a second, set up in front of it so we can see that it's very tall, and then it's probably around 20 feet wide. So I really don't think we're going to see this in stores, but it was still a very cool display for Lowe's to create for this Las Vegas manager meeting. Now, this castle display has multiple animatronics displayed in front of it, including the 12-foot mummy, like I just talked about, which means that the 12-foot mummy will be returning once again. On the opposite side, we can see the 12-foot scarecrow that, of course, came out last year for the 2023 season. He will also be returning for 2024. We can also see the brand new 7-foot gargoyle that I just took a look at in my last Lowe's leak video. That guy was set up in front of the castle as well. And then going back to the side with the 12-foot mummy, we can see that pop-up jump scare pumpkin also set up in the front of the castle. And then one of the other animatronics that we can notice here is the new for 2024 3-foot trick-or-treater skeleton wrapper, which was kind of set up towards the very front of this castle facade. So it's nice to see that Lowe's really got into the animatronic display for the front of this brand new castle that they built for their Las Vegas manager meeting. Now, while the outside of the castle is cool, of course we want to see the new animatronics, and all of those are inside the castle at this Lowe's manager meeting. And the first one I want to take a look at is the brand new handstand balancing clown that I just took a look at in my last Lowe's leak video with the leaked stock images. Now we can see this guy in a real photo set up inside of the castle display at this manager meeting. I think the color scheme on him is very, very good. That green and purple is just a very, very nice kind of contrast for colors. And then, of course, if you know me, I love my lime greens. And now, seeing this guy actually in a real photo from the manager meeting, he actually does have some lime greens on there, which actually look like dark greens in the leaked stock image. I love his green shoes, the hair, the part of his clothes that are lime green. I just love this animatronic. And then, like I already said in my last video, this guy is being manufactured by Techie Design for the 2024 season. I also have to say, I love that Lowe's set up these purple lights all around him in the castle display just to make it a lot more clown-like and to have a little bit of a glow on the balancing clown. But amazing animatronic. I really enjoyed the look to him, and I think that this spot for him in the castle display made him look very nice. Opposite of the balancing clown in the castle display, Lowe's actually set up the new for 2024 12-foot bone collector, the 12-foot animatronic coming to Lowe's for the 2024 season. And I have to say, this guy looks way different than the leaked stock image that we got just about a week ago. It looks like that stock image was of a very original prototype, because in this photo from the Lowe's manager meeting, we can see that the head is completely different on this probably release model of the 12-foot bone collector, because as we can see, his face is completely white, and it also has some black marks kind of around his eyes and then on his mouth area and also on his forehead. Very different looking, and I have to say, I actually do think this looks better than that leaked stock photo that we got. I just like the white and black a lot more than the realistic skin tone that we were seeing on the leaked stock image. Unfortunately, I still don't love the way the skeleton looks that's inside of the bag that he's holding. I still think the proportions are just kind of way off on that, and I'm still not a huge fan of the 12-foot bone collector, but nonetheless, it is definitely interesting to see that he got very different from the prototype to what is most likely the release model with what we're seeing here from the manager meeting. But nonetheless, that is the 12-foot bone collector. In this next image from the manager meeting, we can actually see a brand new animatronic that did not get leaked whatsoever, and this is some kind of alternate sea captain to the one that we do know is coming out. As you can see, this guy has a big hook for a hand, and he actually has octopus tentacles coming out of his mouth and a very creepy looking face with that kind of classic sea captain hat, or kind of fisherman, I guess I should say. This guy looks super creepy, and like I said, we had no idea that this animatronic was coming out, and he is another prop to fit into the nautical theming that we are seeing for Lowe's Halloween 2024. Within this photo, we can also get a much better look at this castle display, and more specifically the inside of the castle, with these nice kind of archway areas where the animatronics were displayed inside of. I love the way, once again, that this castle came out. I think it looks really cool, and it was a very nice set for the manager meeting to take place in. Alongside this brand new sea captain, we can see the second witch that is coming out for the Lowe's Halloween 2024 season. Obviously, we have the Sea Witch, which we'll be taking a look at in just a second, but this one is the Sea Witch being manufactured by SVI, while the other one is being made by Techie. As you can see, this witch right here kind of has some seaweed, it's meant to look like, all over her chest, and she also has like frog hands with her fingers connected to each other. Not a huge fan of that witch. I think the other Techie witch is a lot better, at least in my personal opinion. The third thing that we can see in this particular image is the Kraken that we took a look at around a week ago with the original leaked stock photo. I have to say, I love the way that the Kraken was displayed in this castle display. I love how it's kind of like on top of the roof, so that when you walked into the castle, it was kind of like overhead and kind of in the air. And I also have to mention that it looks like the green LEDs on this Kraken are super bright. I love the way that the legs look on this guy, or the tentacles, I guess I should say. And then I also love how his eyes light up with a super bright white light. Again, if you know me, you know I love my green LEDs and green on animatronics, and I love how vibrant and lime green the Kraken's tentacles are. I think it came out looking super cool, and then once again, I just love how he's displayed on top of the castle like that. In this next image, we can see the other half of the nautical animatronics that are coming to Lowe's for 2024 that we did take a look at with the original leaks just around a week ago. And in this photo is my favorite animatronic from the Lowe's Halloween 2024 lineup. And of course, that is the haunted deep sea diver. Unfortunately, he is kind of set up, or at least the way this photo was taken, was kind of at an angle, so we can't see him that good because the deep sea diver was kind of not looking at the camera in this particular image, which kind of sucks because we can't see him great as of the current moment. But nonetheless, this is still our very first time that we are seeing the deep sea diver in real life and not just in a stock photo. He looks great. I mean, I really don't have anything else to say about him. I already said so much about what I liked about this guy with the original leaked stock photos, and I still think he looks amazing. I love the color scheme. I love the seaweed. I love the look of the diving helmet. Everything about this guy is, in my opinion, a perfect nautical animatronic, and I am definitely gonna have to pick that guy up for the 2024 season. But there's the deep sea diver. Right across from him in this section of the castle display, we can see the deep sea siren witch, which, like I just mentioned, is the other witch that we are seeing for the Lowe's 2024 season. This one, of course, being made by Techie Design. I will say, I think I liked her a little bit more in the leaked stock image than I do in this real-life photo from the manager meeting. I'm not a huge fan of the way that her hand is done, and it kind of makes her look like a cat, if that makes sense, kind of with like claws, but she's meant to be like a witch from like the sea. I don't really feel like her hand really matches the concept there, and I think it was a bigger fan of her from the stock image. The last animatronic that we can see in this stock photo is the Deep Sea Captain, which is another prop that we did take a look at a week ago with the leaked original stock images. Unfortunately, we also can't see this guy super well because he was set up towards the back of these animatronics, and he's kind of far away from where the person was who took this photo. However, we can still see the ship wheel that he's turning. We can also see kind of a piece of his face, which we couldn't really see in his stock photo because it was a very dark image. We can see now that he does seem to have a kind of skin tone face and not something that's like green like the Deep Sea Siren Witch. The captain looks a lot more realistic and painted to look like a real human being, but still, he looks very, very nice. I'm excited to see more about him and to see his actual demo video so we can see the specific animations that the Deep Sea Captain will have, but nonetheless, there he is inside of the castle. Next up, we have the Reaper band set up inside of the castle display at the Lowe's manager meeting. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of confused by this photo because as you can see, we have the drummer and the guitarist from last year, and then we have the new for 2024 keyboardist that once again I took a look at just a couple of days ago with his leaked stock photo. However, the new for 2024 Reaper band singer and the updated reskin of the guitarist with the green guitar are nowhere in sight at the manager meeting. This is kind of weird because especially those are new for 2024, so I don't really know why those wouldn't be displayed at the manager meeting, especially when they're showing off 2 of the Reaper band props that were from last year, but not 2 of the ones that are from this year. I don't know, kind of confusing, but nonetheless, we can still see our very first real look at the new for 2024 Reaper keyboardist. And like I said with my leaked stock photo video, I still think this guy is an amazing animatronic. I love the look of his keyboard and how it's covered in cobwebs. I love his red and black hair, and actually, it looks like at the meeting, his face was completely covered by the red and black hair, which I think looks awesome. Again, just looks super, super cool. I love the look of him, and while I kind of wish we could have seen the Reaper band singer and the updated guitarist in the castle as well, it's still very nice to see the at least a keyboardist set up at the manager meeting in Las Vegas. This next image is another animatronic that I took a look at just a couple of days ago with the leaked stock photos, and this is the Joseph Crackstone animatronic that is coming from the Wednesday Netflix series. Now, like I said in my other video, I am still not familiar with who this character is because I did not watch Wednesday. However, what I do know from research from my last video is that he's the kind of overall big villain, I guess, in the Wednesday Netflix TV series. So I guess if you're a fan of Wednesday, then this will be an animatronic that you are a fan of. And I will say, just like the 12-foot bone collector, this guy looks very different than what we saw with the original leaked stock photo. So again, I guess that was a very, very preliminary prototype. And this in the photo from the manager meeting is closer to the release model for Joseph Crackstone. Again, I don't know a lot about the character, so I don't really know what to say about him in terms of accuracy, but we can see that he's holding a staff here, and from the original leaked stock photo, we know that fog will actually come out of his mouth, and that his staff will also light up a bright green color. However, he was not activated in this photo, so we're not really seeing that as of the current moment. We also do know that Joseph Crackstone in this photo is set up in the Wednesday area for the Lowe's manager meeting inside of the castle. However, unfortunately, we do not have photos of Wednesday set up in the castle just yet, or the Cousin It animatronic, but that is the Joseph Crackstone animatronic. And finally, the last image that we have from this Lowe's event is of the Haunted Mansion Beheaded Night that is coming to Lowe's for the 2024 season. And yet again, this is another prop that looks very different from the leaked stock photo that I just took a look at in my last video. And I will say, I actually think the night looks a lot better in real life than it did in that stock photo. So again, I think there was some improvement from the prototype to now what is going to be the release model. And like I said in my last video, I am not a huge Haunted Mansion fanatic, so I can't really go on and on about how accurate it is and the detailing and everything like that. However, from the images and videos I have seen of the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney, this night looks pretty accurate in terms of detailing and color scheme and the look of the head and everything like that. This guy is actually pretty good for a retail animatronic that is meant to mimic one of the nights at Disney on the Haunted Mansion ride. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. All of the photos that we currently have from the Lowe's Halloween 2024 manager meeting that is taking place in Las Vegas, Nevada. Overall, I have to say, I am incredibly happy with the Lowe's Halloween 2024 animatronic lineup. I think there are a lot of winner animatronics throughout the lineup this year, and I especially love the nautical props that we are seeing for 2024. And still, based off these manager meeting photos, my favorite animatronic holds true to be the Haunted Deep Sea Diver. I love the look of him, and I am so excited to see, first of all, a better image of him, hopefully from the manager meeting, someone who's able to get kind of in front of him, so we can see the front of the animatronic, and also his official demo video, so we can see the Haunted Deep Sea Diver in action. But other than him, I think the animatronics look amazing. I think a lot of them looked improved from their leaked stock photos, and look even better now seeing them in photos from the manager meeting. And then lastly, I think the castle display was tremendous, and I think it came out awesome to display their new animatronics. But I guess, remember as always, for everything scary, I'm GMHaunts. I was gonna send it for more Lowe's Halloween 2024 videos. Goodbye.